What's up, guys? This is OJ Light. Just want to make sure the microphone's all good. Yeah. What's up, guys? One moment. Hello. What's going on, guys? Come here, bud. Saw my dogs doing dog things. Hi, guys. I am OJ Light. Welcome to another live stream. Title says it all, and tonight we're going to talk about how I lost 50 pounds and got myself huge. Okay, so one moment now. What do you need, Doc, buddy? Alright. Another one? Go ahead. Apologize for that. I didn't want my dog howling while I did this. Alright, guys. So, alright, let's get into this, guys. Alright, so, the picture from not the screensaver picture, what are they called? The thumbnail. Those pant size used to be tight on me, guys. They used to be really tight on me, okay? So, let me move no, I think the camera's fine. So, I've lost around 50 pounds. I was at my highest. I was at 285. I'm at about 270, so almost 50 pounds. Or not 270, I'm sorry, 237. So I'm almost 50 pounds down. All right, guys, that was what I was at my heaviest. Bad, super bad, stunk, humiliated, no good. Okay, and I've gone on an amazing journey, and I got just a little more to go. Okay, so let's get this. Erase that there. So when you start this journey, if you'd have asked me what's the two things I think you should do just to get things kicked off, the two things I think you should do is lose weight, right? Alright. Those are like, from where I come from, you want to start A, B. That's like, you want to build a body. There we go. This is it. We're starting here. This is. I am from originally the Good Looking Loser forums. This is like the building block, the first step, where you begin. All right, guys. So lose weight. Use the bathmate. So tonight we're going to kind of cover both of these. I've covered this before. I'll cover it again. And the reason I combine these two guys, okay, so a lot of times in the male enhancement community, people just do this, right? They just do the bathmate. And I have seen, and this is people reporting on themselves. When asked how heavy they are, they go, 300, 400, 500. I think that the most I've ever seen on a forum somebody weigh is 545. That's what they told me. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that is true, that's pretty heavy. That's pretty fucking heavy. And they're trying to get a bigger cock just using the bathmate. They're like, why is it not working? Well, I'll tell you why it's not working, because they think they need to do more of this. Really, they need to do more of this to lose the weight part of the formula. Alright, guys, and the reason I think people go that route, the reason I think, we all know it, this is 15 minutes every other day. This is a lifetime of work. 15 minutes every other day. Lifetime of work. You see what I mean? The time commitment, the difficulty, the commitment is way heavier here. Okay, it really is. It's way heavier here. This might be more socially acceptable, but this is for some people, this is way easier and less of a commitment, right? But this is where it's at. So that is where we're gonna work on this. All right, guys, we're gonna embrace this concept. We're gonna go there, right? So Let's erase this. If there ever comes a day, guys, I get my own video studio, I am 100% having a standing desk. I love the standing desk. Alright, guys, so we've talked about how to start, like where people think they need to go, but really where they need to be at. So let's kind of start with the step one. How often I use the bathroom. We're gonna get into detail about that later, but just to kind of answer the question, I use it 4 times a week. Okay? 4 times a week. So I do it Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Okay, those are my 4 days. And then Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays are my weightlifting days. Do you see how I kind of alternate them? Like weightlifting, bath mate, weightlifting, bath mate, bath mate. That's like my bodybuilding routine, if that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta set goals, right? We got to set goals. I actually have my goals written up here in the corner, right here. So let's talk here, guys. So right now, current weight is 236.9 pounds, and I'm trying to get to 200, right? I want to try to do 91 of these streams in a row, and I want to do this one I'm really close to. I've done with the 9-inch bath mate, I have done 96 sessions. I've done 96 sessions since I got my new and bigger one. And my goal was to get to 100 before changing up the routine. So I am just within 4 more sessions of hitting that goal. Okay, so those are my goals. Okay, so now I want to kind of talk about how you hit the weight goal. In the chat, the first thing I put in was the Banner weight, scale weight. If you click on the link, there is a range. It gives you a range of what your weight should be depending on your height. Now I assume you know your current weight and height. If you don't, a doctor can give you, or one of those old-fashioned scales where they have the raising measurement on it. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And get your weight and get your height. You should know it. Look at the chart, and it'll tell you. It'll give you a range. That's why I like it. It's not a hard number. It's a range. So I'm 6'1". I mean, technically I'm 6 foot 3/4, but 6'1". So that range says I should be 166 to 202. That is the range I fall into. Obviously, you can start with the higher range. I went with 200, right? Just an easy 200. That is how you set the weight goal. That's how I got this goal, okay? So, you get your goal, that's step one. Now I want to talk about why this is important. So, Dan Kennedy, this is actually for wealth, but I think this pyramid I think you could use this pyramid on just about anything, okay? So he's got something called the wealth pyramid, okay? Much dry, okay? And this is statistics. This is pure statistics. So you got 20% of people always struggling with money. You got 60%. I'm sorry, 20% are endlessly poor, 60% are endlessly struggling, 15% do well, 4% do really well, and then you got the 1%, which is like the Bill Gates, the Elon Musk, the or the guy who owns Facebook, whatever. We all know 1%ers. Those are easy. Now the interesting thing is, if you took this chart and you look at it in terms of people's weight, it kind of lines up. It very lines up. And actually, I think it's getting worse. So right now, 74% of people are overweight in America. 74%. It's a very high number. It's a very disturbing number. So 74% of people overweight, and by 2030, 50% will be obese. 50% will be obese by 2030. So this is a big problem. And if you kind of look at the chart, 50% is not that far off from the 60%, right? So my prediction is, and I don't know what year, I couldn't peg it on a calendar, but eventually 20% of people dangerously obese, 60% of people will just be obese, 15% of people will be overweight, 4% of people will be healthy weight, and 1% of people will have a six-pack, which right now ain't that far off, because I believe in America, 3% have a six-pack. They did some study, that's the number they came up with. So that's not that far off in terms of digits, right? Oops. Give me one moment. My dog wants back in the room. I know, buddy. I'm coming. Get in here. Alright, come on, bud. Sorry about that. So, I think this will become a problem. This is going to be a problem. I want to help people avoid this problem. People need to escape this bullshit and get up at least to the top 5%. I mean, honestly, being a healthy body weight is not, like, forget the six-pack. Just being at a healthy body weight, I guarantee you, within my lifetime, that will become like a rarity. That will become a super duper rarity. Okay, it's kind of scary. I almost think like how some people hire if you're bilingual. I think some people are gonna secretly hire if you're a healthy body weight. I think that's coming. I think that's coming, and I think that a lot of people are gonna be upset. A lot of people are going to be upset. So we're going to talk about how to get there, though. Okay? So we got the goal. We understand why this is important. Okay? And this is really important, too, for male enhancement. Because if you're obese, I don't care what you do with the bath mitt. You're not going to get good results. You're just not. I mean, go on any male enhancement forum. They'll tell you that. I mean, you don't have to take my word for me. I go around the internet. I see the comments. All right, so let's get into tactics. Okay, we're gonna get into. Have you ever tried the Anglican method? I don't know what that is off the top of my head. One moment. Let me look that up. That's, I've seen this. I've seen this thrown out before. I've seen that asked before. I'm sorry. That's kind of what I'm talking about right now. I mean, I've seen that before. Let me do some more research. I bet you a lot of the things I'm talking about, I'll look into it after this, because I think a lot of the stuff we're talking about probably overlaps. I've seen that before now that I Googled it. Okay, I'll look on it after the stream. So, where was I? Oh. Tactics. I'm sorry. So we got the goal, right? We got our goal. Step 1, we are good. Step 2 is tactics. All right, and this is the fun part. This is the part everyone really is here for. Okay. So let's get into it, right? So I'm gonna list these off health wise, easiest to hardest. Okay, easiest to hardest. So off the bat, easiest thing to do, sleep. Okay, I'm gonna use a little picture here to explain this, why this is important. Here's my unhealthy self, right? Put the word blimp in here. This is totally not PC. You want to get to Stud Island, right? Now, if this makes sense, sleep is the vehicle, it's the boat that gets you from Blimp City to Stud Island. Okay? It's sleep. Sleep is the vehicle. Okay? When you sleep, your body repairs any damage that is done. That's what builds it. So if you hit the gym hard, you're lifting weights, you tear muscle. Your muscle is not repaired while you're in your waking hours. It repairs while you sleep. Okay? Same thing goes with fat loss. You're in a calorie deficit. Your body needs to make up the difference. It converts the fat into the energy that you need as you sleep. So sleep is the vehicle that gets you to the island, if that makes sense. That's how I kind of like to, it's the vehicle. Okay? So, sleep is number one. And if you've been on this channel, if you've explored it, I've said this before. Nothing here is new. Sleep also does, there's a hormone called cortisol, okay? And this hormone, I think this hormone gets a lot of people in trouble. So when you wake up in the morning, let's say you wake up at 6, and at 8 o'clock you're hungry because that's when the cortisol hits your system, okay? It takes about 2 hours after waking up for the cortisol to build up enough to hit your system. You're not hungry because you need nourishment. You're hungry because your cortisol spiked. Same thing if you're having a really shitty day, you have been stressed out and you just want to eat, that's the cortisol, right? I'm also convinced, sometimes people say after you work out, you get hungry because your body needs nutrients. I am pretty convinced that it's because of the cortisol. You worked out, you put your body into stress, the cortisol kicked up. And the only mechanism that the human body has to lower cortisol is sleep. That's it. That's the only thing we got to combat it. Okay? So, sleep it's the easiest thing I can suggest, because all you do is close your fucking eyes and into Z-land you go. Okay? So that's tactic number one. Tactic number two, this one's again pretty easy. Fill your day with play. Oops, these markers are not good. So everyone's got spare time. Everyone just a lot of people that sit around and just do nothing all day. When I say fill your day with play, what I'm talking about is getting a physical hobby, okay? So let me just give you some of the things I do. I used to do volleyball. I haven't done that in recent years. But I go swimming every other day. I go salsa dancing. I go on the bike path with the dog. Some friends of mine do martial arts. Some friends of mine do mountain climbing. That's what I mean, fill your day with play. Because it's an easy way to burn calories. It's an easy way to meet people. It's just an overall better lifestyle than sitting at your house all day. I don't know what else to say. I also have this saying, and I think this is universal. All you need to do to improve your life in any direction is just 90 minutes a day. I don't care what it is you're trying to do. I think 90 minutes a day, you got it. Okay? So if you started a side business and you worked on it 90 minutes a day, you would probably get further ahead than what you would think you did. If you spent 90 minutes a day exercising and meal prepping, you would lose a lot of weight. If you spent 90 minutes a day doing male enhancement, you would probably grow quicker than you realize. So I think 90 minutes a day is really all you need to whatever your goal is. You just need to dedicate a good 90 minutes to it a day. Okay. So that's step 2, play. So sleep and play, and I think a lot of people can handle this. I think a lot of people can find an outdoor hobby to do that gets them meeting people and physically moving, and I think a lot of people can go to bed at night at a reasonable time. Okay, I think that's two pretty simple steps. All right, now we're gonna get into a harder suggestion. This is a lot of a harder suggestion. And this one, for me, was actually the easiest of suggestions. But I know people who this is a bitter pill to eat. This is a hard thing to do, and that's just drink water. Okay. About 24, and I was still heavy afterwards, but about 24 I gave up drinking pop. I just couldn't stomach it. And by 29, I was done with alcohol. This is a real number. I looked it up. 20% of your calories come from what you drink. So, milk, juice, pop, alcohol, milkshakes. Trying to think of anything else that people drink commonly that has calories. I said pop, right? That's the big one. But in essence, 20% of your calories comes from that. Okay? So if you were to just drink water and change nothing else, you would have cut out 20% of your calories if you were currently drinking calories in any form. Okay? So that is a real easy, in my opinion, diet hack. I mean, that might be, in terms of cutting calories, that might be the biggest thing you do, is not drink anything that's filled with calories. Alright, I do give one exception. If you do some sort of like workout and you want a protein drink after the workout, I mean one. I know some people that drink like 4 a day. Some of them are a little chunky. Okay, some of them are a little chunky. I know some gym bros that drink 4. I know a guy. I think he drinks 6 a day. I think he drinks one after the workout, one with his breakfast, one at break, one at lunch. It's around. I might have it off a little bit. Like one after he gets off of work, one with dinner, and one before. Like 6 a day. Okay, it's a little. Yes. It's because it's about 20%. 20%. Right? It's real easy. Real easy. Okay, it's real easy for this. Yes, 100%. I had heard this in the era before. Believe it or not, there was a time I remember when AOL was like the thing. Okay, I remember there was a video on AOL that talked about this. So that's how old I've known about this. Probably since I think I wasn't even out of high school and I had learned this. But 20% of calories comes from drinking. Your drinks, right? So that's a real easy diet hack. Okay. Now, the question is, how much water should you be drinking a day? Okay, that's the next question you gotta be asking yourself. And this is the formula. I got this from Alan Roberts. Big fan of him. He's his channel is about. He kind of critiques the fat acceptance community and why it's bad. But this comes from him. So for every 2 pounds you weigh, come on, Market. So for every 2 pounds you weigh, you drink 1 ounce. So if you were 200 pounds, you would drink 100 ounces a day. Okay, that's yes. So that's how much water you should be drinking a day. 2 pounds. 2 pounds for 1 ounce for every 2 pounds. So if you're 200 pounds, 100 ounces. That's the formula to keep hydrated. All right, because you don't want to just not drink anything. That's no bueno. And to show you what that is, 100 ounces. Let me grab it. Okay, 100 ounces is 6 bottles. Okay, a little over, but 6 bottles. Okay, so we got the water down. Alright, now for the super fun part. This is suggested for. This is kind of gonna be. We're gonna be on this for a while now because this is where I kind of tie everything together. Okay. Step 4 or tactic 4 is lift weights. Okay. And I put this forward because this is a hard one. This is a hard one. I'm going to be honest. Waking up at 4 in the morning to lift weights kind of sucks. I love it, but it sucks. Okay? It's kind of weird. I have a love-hate relationship. It never gets easy. It never gets easy because I'm always adding weight to it. So I love it. I do love it, but it does suck. It sucks simultaneously. It does. I love it and it sucks. It's a paradox. That's what makes people people. People are living paradoxes. And this we're gonna spend some time into here. So I'm gonna talk about my schedule, like what my actual workout schedule looks like, and this includes the bathmate. This includes that too. Okay. So this is we're gonna show it. So my weeks, guys. My weeks are actually. In terms of like I know some people say I have a program that over the next 7 days. My program is actually over a 12-day cycle. Okay, this gets a little confusing for people. It's not. I don't do a 7-day workout cycle. I do a 12 to 11-day cycle depending on when my rest day is. So let's just assume I started my workout cycle on a Saturday, right? Let's do the Saturdays, right? So. Let me try the other marker, guys. Who's it at? This marker's kind of giving me some trouble. There we go. Saturday. So, Sunday. Let me write out the days, and then we'll see it. And then we got Monday. Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday. Well, this marker is not any better. You know, you just can't get good markers these days. I swear to God. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I'll throw Wednesday up here because. Okay, so that's like a whole cycle, right? For me, that's like 1 week. So let me explain this. So let's say my workout rotation, which is over 12 days. I don't do a 7-day workout routine. I do a 12-day workout routine, okay? So first Saturday, okay? First Saturday, Saturday and Sunday are the same. So I do a 45-minute swim and a bathmate session, okay? Swim, bathmate session. Okay, that's my workout. Saturday, Sunday. Okay, that's my workout. Okay, Monday. My first Monday would be leg and back. Number 1. Okay. Tuesday, swim BM. Wednesday, chest and arm 1. Okay, Thursday, which is tomorrow, swim and BM. Friday, leg and back 2. And what I mean by 2 is the leg and back exercises I do on this day are not the same as the leg and back exercises I do on this day. So example, like the first leg and back day, I do mainly upper back and glutes and hamstrings. On this one, the back exercises I'm doing are mostly lats and quads and calves. So the different, same with the chest and arm. So anyway, sorry. First chest is more tricep and shoulders, and then the second one's more bicep and some incline, if that makes sense. So again, Saturday, you know, or swim, BM. This Sunday, swim, BM. Monday would be, you know, the last chest and arm, so chest and arm 2. Tuesday, swim, BM, and then this Wednesday is rest day. I do absolutely nothing on the rest day. Absolutely nothing in terms of working out. It is a real rest day. I don't swim, I don't BM, I don't lift weights. I actually sleep in an extra hour and that morning. Instead of waking up and going to the gym, I rest. I literally rest. And then I repeat it all over again. Okay, so I want to have Saturday and Sunday because the next day is Thursday, but it kind of starts the cycle over again, right? And once I basically get to the rest day, that's it. So that is the actual what my lifestyle, what my workout lifestyle looks like, right? That's it, right there. This is what I do, okay? This is how I lose weight. This is how I get my male enhancement in. This is it, right here. That's that's the actual program, 100%, okay? And I always say this: people, you don't have to swim. I mean, I know people that do like a morning volleyball thing. I know people that do basketball thing. It doesn't really, like I said, the swim is not really, the weightlifting I think is important, but the swim is just, I just think it's a physical activity. I enjoy it. When you've really made the muscle sore, the water feels good. The water does feel good on your body. So this is the program. That's it. So let's kind of break down a couple things. So I'm not going to go through my actual weight selection in this episode. That's going to be a whole nother speech on weight selection, like the actual exercises. But I am going to give you 3 things that I'm working towards weight-wise. Okay, because I think these are good. Because you don't want to just lose weight. That's a mistake. You don't want to just lose weight. You want to lose weight and gain strength. You want to do, okay, and there will be some back and forth. You'll gain some unwanted fat while you get muscle. You'll lose it. You'll gain it. You'll lose it. But ultimately, as you slim down, you are going to want to get stronger. Because I know a lot of guys who got thin, but they're like paper thin. I mean, like a strong breeze can blow them over. Like they got the 6-pack, but they ain't strong, guys. They are not strong. They needed to do a lot more weightlifting. Like they just did the diet. They didn't do the weightlifting. They lost the weight, but they're paper thin. Okay. So the three weight goals, and this is called the 1,000-pound club, and it's called 1,000 usually why. So eventually, I'm working towards it. 4 or 5 deadlift. I think I'll hit this first. I think I'm gonna hit a 4 or 5 deadlift, no problem. 215 chest press. I think I'll hit this second, and I think I'll hit these 2 pretty close to each other. The one I think I'm gonna need a lot of time on to work up is the 4 or 5 squat. I think that's going to be a lot of work, and that's how you get 1,000 pounds. So basically 400, 200, 400. That's 1,000. That's why it's called the 1,000-pound club. But that's the goal. That's the strength goal. There's some other things like like to be able to do 12 pull-ups. There's some barbell rolls in there, but this is basically the main chunk of the goal. And I think this is something a lot of people should work towards. Because you only live once, so you might as well be strong. Okay, so these are the weightlifting goals. I think these are things people should work towards, okay? Especially men. I know a chick that can do a 405 deadlift, and she ain't no more than 100 pounds. I mean, she's muscular, but she ain't very big. She just, it's funny. A lot of people don't think she can't do the other two, but she can do those deadlifts. Jesus Christ, little Asian girl. So, let's talk about the last thing I want to talk about with the weightlifting weight, and this kind of goes with it, is my back mate routine. This is a very basic routine, and I've talked about this routine, and once I get 4 more, I'm gonna add stuff to it. But this is, like I said, this was the first 100. Oh, Marker, don't die on me now. So it's really just a 5-minute warm up. I'm gonna have to give up on writing. 50 scrotum stretches, and then 5 minutes in the bathmate. Kegel while you do that. Then you're gonna do another 50 scrotum stretches, another 5 minutes Kegel, and then 50 more, and 5 more minutes of the bathmate. And that's your 15 minutes a day, and you only do 15 minutes a day, okay? Like I said, I got a new one. I had the 7-inch and maxed it out. There's pictures on the website, proof that I maxed it out. I am maxed out on that thing. So I got my 9-incher. Okay. And I'm hoping one day, probably a couple years from now, to max that out. Okay. That's basically the workout routine, guys. That's basically physically what I do. Okay. So today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. I was doing a back and squat day. Right now, quads are killing me. They are killing me. Where'd you going, buddy? They are killing me right now. Alright, so that covers tactic 4, the physical activity, guys. Okay, so the last thing, and I gotta give this to Andy at Kill Your Inner Loser. That's the name of the website. The last tip, the 5th tip, is just eat meat. So let me kind of go over this. So just eat meat, guys. It's a pretty simple suggestion. It's a really, really easy suggestion, but I think it's honestly, for me, the hardest one to stick to, because I love fried foods. Like, I love onion rings, I love donuts, I love pizza puffs, I love mozzarella sticks. I love that shit. So sometimes sticking to the all meat diet, it can be hard, but when you do it, it works. It really does work. All right. So for protein, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty easy. Whatever your ideal goal is. So I want to get to 200 pounds. That's how many grams of protein a day I eat. Usually I get to about 193. It seems like I hit that more than 200. It's just with what I eat. But some days I get over it. Some days I get to, like, I think yesterday I hit 211. It's one of those things. The easiest way I have found to stick with just eating meat is an eating schedule. Like, I have on my calendar what I'm going to eat every night for dinner written out already, and I have a couple, I call them alternates. Like, originally I was going to bake or cook a pound of hamburger tonight, but it's 110 degrees in Chicago right now, so I was like, I ain't cooking nothing. So instead I had some salami, I rolled it up into cheese, right? That was my alternate. Like, I have those figured out too, just in case stuff happens. Like, you know what I mean? I'm traveling, meteor hits the earth, the dead rise. I got it covered. I got it covered when I'm eating that night, alright? So, but the eating schedule I find really helps. Generally, I eat the same 2 to 3 meals a week for dinner. So if it's not the hamburger meat in a bowl, it's some grilled chicken. And then on Saturdays, I occasionally like to have dry rub ribs, right? That's generally what I eat on a Saturday night. It's kind of like, pork is kind of like a treat for me. And for lunch, it's always some sort of salad with meat. Like today I had a chicken Caesar salad. Yesterday I had a chicken Caesar salad too. Monday I had a salad with lamb meat in it. That's generally what I eat for lunch every day. So that's kind of how I stick to the eat mostly meat diet. If you want some green vegetables like cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, that's fine. No one, that's not gonna, you're not gonna gain fat on that. It's generally like the breads and the pastas and the rice. That's the type of stuff I can just, like, you put a bread bowl in front of me, I'll eat the whole goddamn thing. That's why I can't have that stuff. So that's like the eating habits. Now, if you did want to add carbs, I should say I kind of follow some of Dorian Yates' advice. He's a famous bodybuilder, and he said he would use carbs just when he was trying to build muscle. Right now, I really need to lose weight, so that's, the carbs are out. But if I was in the opposite boat, like I was trying to gain weight, the carbs would probably come back in. So those are the actual tactics that I use to lose weight. So it's sleep, play, water, lift weights, that whole workout routine I showed you guys, and the just eat meat, which is the big thing is I have an eating schedule. That's really what it is. It's an eating schedule, and I only eat 2 times a day, guys. I don't lunch, dinner. I don't have snacks. I don't have breakfast. It's just lunch, dinner. That's it, and the 1 protein drink after my workout. That's it. That's it. Snacks. I've actually found snacks are what do a lot of people in, because they don't realize how much they're snacking on. Okay, so those are the 5 tactics that make up the weight loss program, if you want to call it that I do. I call it more like the lifestyle program I have, because it is a lifestyle. Okay, like and the beautiful thing is, this is something. I mean, I falter a little bit on the meat, but the other 4, easy. And this is something I can do the rest of my life. That's the thing I think a lot of people miss. Whatever program you come up with for yourself, okay, it might not exactly be this, but it's got to be something you can do forever. It can't be something, well, I did it for 6 months and I quit it for 4 years. It doesn't work. It's got to be like a forever thing. Okay, that's the hard part for some people, the forever part. So I needed some water. We've talked about the first 2 sets, setting goals, how I set weight goals, and then the tactics. And then step 2, the tactics I use. Okay. Step 3 is managing and measuring. Where's my weight? I actually use this book to hold my weights. I actually use pen and paper to track stuff. I don't know why. I like it way better than like apps. So hopefully I can get this marker to work. I do a 7-day average. That's how I do my weight. 7-day averages, right? So I only got 5 written down because I made a new list when I started doing these videos. So let's just do like the 5 days I got down, right? And I'll show you how averages work if you've never seen this. So I came about this because I tried a bunch of different ways to weigh myself: daily, once a week, every other week, every other day, and I just found averages captured what your weight is the most accurately. Okay, so how averages work is like this. So, oh man, sorry guys, my marker's not working, so you just have to follow what I'm saying here. So like day 1 was 241.2 pounds, okay, and that would be the average for one day. The next day I weighed myself at 237.2, but the average of those two weights added together is 239.2. So that if you had watched the one video, I had 239.2 written on. The next day, the actual measurement on the scale was 236.6, but the average of all those 3 days added together was 238.3. The next day I weighed myself 235.8, but the average of those 4 days together is actually 237.7. And then today when I woke up, I weighed myself, and the hard number I weighed was 233.8, but the average is 236.9. Okay, so you just add everything together and then you divide it by so if you did it over 7 days, you'd add all 7 numbers together and then divide it by 7. And the reason I like averages is because if you weigh yourself daily without the average, you'll notice your weight goes up and down drastically, like 5 to like it can swing in 10 pounds either direction, right? So you're not really sure day to day if you're making progress, but if you do the average, it really shows you what's going on. That's why I like the average method. And then the next thing we got to talk about is how much you should try to lose per week. Okay, so this is another thing I got from Alan Roberts, who is, like I said, I like his content. Highly suggest you check him out. Alan Roberts suggests you lose 0.5% of body weight a week, which, if you did over a year, is actually quite a lot. It doesn't sound a lot week to week, but over a long period of time. So let me give you an example. If you lost, if you were 400 pounds and you lost 0.5% a week for a year, you'd probably lose around 100 pounds, which is a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight to lose in a year. So it does add up quickly. So basically, you just, every Friday I do the math. I weigh myself on Friday and I times it by 0.995. That number will tell me what I should be by next Friday. Sometimes I hit it, more often than not than I hit it, but there's weeks I'm a little short. And that's basically how I calculate out my calculate out my weight loss for the week. I gotta clean this, guys, because this next part I need to draw. So there's one more thing I want to go over. Let me dry this off. I think it's I gotta get better markers. They leave too much on it, despite the dry erasing. Alright, so let's try it. There's a mark? No. Come on. Shoot. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, guys, is kind of a little in a game about this whole thing, and I kind of call it the gap. And this is super important because I think this is like the destroyer. This is like the destroyer of people when it comes to this shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I let the marker go. Oh well. I don't care what your goal is. This what I'm about to explain gets a lot of people. Okay. This is like the mental. This is like the if you want to use the word religious, I don't really like that word, but philosophical, religious, spiritual, whatever you want to use, view of this. So you're gonna take actions, right? You're gonna take action, and you're gonna have like some goal. Like you're gonna be like, I wanna, let me use the weight thing. I want to be 200 pounds by Labor Day. Okay, that's a goal, right? And you're gonna work out. You're gonna try to eat, and I might be 15 pounds short of the goal by that date. And this goes for anything. So this could be any goal, whatever. Generally, what I've noticed happens to people, and I see this all the time happen to people. They set a goal and a date, and they don't hit the goal by that date. Okay, so what happens is they get there's a gap. That's why I call it the gap. There's a gap between what they achieved and what they wanted to achieve. And then they get depressed, and they do so like, let's say I didn't hit the weight goal, and I got super depressed, and ate like 30 days of donuts, and I gained like 100 pounds. The gap just got bigger, right? The depression led to the gap growing, okay? And this happens, I see this happen a lot with people. A lot. It's not just with weight. It could be anything. It could be, I didn't get a job promotion. They get depressed and do some dumbass shit. The gap raises. I'm trying to think of somebody. I'm sure you've seen it sometimes in sports, or maybe not professional, but amateur sports. Somebody doesn't win a game, they get all pissed and quit, right? Somebody doesn't make a sale in a particular product, and they just give up on becoming a better salesman. Whatever it is, you can see it in life. They didn't hit the goal, they got frustrated, so they do something that gets them further away from the goal. That's a very common trap for people. Very common. It's like I said, the biggest in a game thing of this whole weight loss journey. And like I said, it doesn't have to do with weight. It can do with anything. Example: I could say I want to do 91 streams in a row, and I hope I get 1,000 subscribers by the end of it. And let's say I just have 500. Well, some people might get depressed and quit YouTube, right? That's like a YouTube example. That's a big thing that happens to people, and it's just a trap I would like people to avoid. Okay, so that's basically all. That's basically the my presentation for the night, guys. You got any questions? Ask them now. I'll give like a minute because I know there's a bit of delay on the video. Well, no, I am not on Reddit. I'm actually not on a lot of social media. I don't like getting bogged down on the phone or the computer, if that makes sense. Like, I know some people that live on Reddit. I mean, they live it. YouTube is basically where I'm at. Nah, not really, man. Not really, man. Like I said, I just generally do YouTube. I try to I know a lot of people, like, social media is a very popular thing. I try to limit myself because, again, like, you remember how I just talked about the Gap and people get depressed and they do dumbass shit? I see a lot of people get depressed and they just go on social media for like 8 hours a day, right? So I try to avoid that stuff as much as I humanly can. So that's pretty much the presentation, guys. I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm Han, just to give you a heads up. Like, I'm perfecting this presentation I just gave you. So every night for the next while, I'm gonna keep adding to it, keep finding nuances into it. And once I really get it down, we're gonna expand into some other topics. Like, some of the other topics that I have is a whole video on just the bath mate. Another one on exercise selection. There'll be another one on debt, because just that's kind of the direction we're going to be going with some of these live streams. But right now we're focusing on this because it just happens to line in with my goal at the moment of getting to 200. So that's pretty much it for the night, guys. So thank you for coming and showing your support. If you guys are interested in any of the products I promote, I got some. I know. That's on the list. Dude, I got literally like 100 ideas for like really long series. It's just it gets a little overwhelming because there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. I did make a demo video. And the audio was fucked. I did not realize I had 2 speakers recording. I made a demo video and it was totally fucked. I was so mad, so pissed, because I went to watch it to make sure everything came out right. It was fucked. That is actually probably going to be the next big thing I do, is the demo videos. Because I'd like to make a library. Because I talk about some of these exercises, but it's kind of, I can't really show them. I have a way I'm going to be able to film them and you guys can get to it. I can't put them directly on YouTube. They'll ban me. They already sent me last year a nasty letter, and I got kind of mad. So I tried not to piss off the YouTube gods. So that demo video is coming though. That is definitely on my. Like I said, I actually had it recorded and it was fucked. I was pissed too. So, anyways, that's coming. Actually, what I want to do with the demo video eventually is I want to make like a male enhancement library with like the different exercises and stuff. That's actually what I kind of came up with for an idea of stuff. So that's kind of something that's going to be sooner than later. That I definitely, especially for the newbie routine I just went over, I kind of want to get. When I hit the 100, I'm going to take a week off of male enhancement, let everything heal up 100%, and then I'm going to do some new measurements, see what gains there have been, and then I'm going to make okay, this is what I did over the last 100 sessions. These are the exercises, demo videos, and I have the before pictures, and so I'll have the after pictures too. Even though I hate taking pictures like that, it's just hard. I might take a video. I might do a video of me measuring versus an actual picture, because I just think it's just, I need a third hand. That's coming. That is coming. The edging thing, the problem is I am running into like making time issues for some stuff, because I do these live streams and then I do that workout routine I showed you. That's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot of time. And I manage a company well, I'm the operations manager at a company. I go out socially, so it's time is I have a time issue right now that I'm having a hard time getting everything fit into like my schedule, if that makes sense. So, but I do have I'm trying to make time for more of a consistent edging program because but like I said, I just have a time issue at the moment. But anyways, I think that's it for the night, and I will see you guys on the next stream or video wherever you catch me. So later, my friends.